This video is partnered by Mint Mobile. Hey guys, before we dive into the video, there's something special I want to share with you. Like many of you, I've been trying to cut back on expenses lately, but let's be real. It's tough when you got things to do and you don't want to give them up. But sometimes you have to make those sacrifices to pay your phone bill and satisfy the big tech companies. That was until I discovered Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless services starting as low as $15 a month. With Mint Mobile, you can get high-speed data plus unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. The best part? You get to keep your phone and even the phone number. Now, if you do want to purchase your own phone, they do have phones available on the website, which you can get through the link. The internet service is reliably fast. It's so seamless, I put it up there with any other network on the market. Now, some of you might think switching to a new service is a hassle. Let me reassure you, this is only going to take you 15 minutes to set up. You could literally do it right now from your phone, no need to leave your house or contact anybody, and if the service just so happens to not support the SIM card, Mint Mobile will personally ship you a SIM card for free. As a sweet bonus, if you sign up before May 31st, 2024, you'll also get a 6-month subscription to Paramount Plus on Mint. So if you're like me and you want to save a little bit of money without sacrificing anything, use the link trymintmobile.com/justalyx and start your wireless plan today as low as $15 a month. Don't lose out on this opportunity. Start saving money by switching to Mint Mobile today.
Login complete. Welcome to Alyx's world.
Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space. For wrestling fans like you, I'm your host Alyx, just Alyx. James E. Cornette, Jim Cornette, WWE Hall of Famer. And of course, the main host and podcast leader of The Drive-Thru, or the Jim Cornette Experience, is trending. He's trending because, as always, he did or said something offensive, which is literally what Jim Cornette is known for. He's got a mouth on him. For better or worse, Jim Cornette knows how to get people talking. He's been doing it for decades. He is in my opinion, one of the best talkers, one of the best wrestling minds, great insight on not just professional wrestling, storytelling, but the wrestling business. The idea of how to make people pay money to watch guys in spandex and tights and draws, underwear, get inside a ring and play wrestle. He is one of the best to do it. Period. And so, as someone that has been watching wrestling for a long time, I have grown to appreciate and admire Jim Cornette for his insight and his mind on wrestling. But even I can admit at times he does be putting his foot in his mouth, which is something he will admit to. Is this one of those occasions? Is this one of those ordeals where he did something that was clearly offensive and, dare I say, racist, which is what they're calling, right? Well, I'm here to be a voice of reason. Because if anyone is going to talk about what is racist, it's me. Look here. What he is in trouble for, if we're going to just get right to it, this is what he is in trouble for. This thumbnail. A thumbnail that he used, that he did not make, by the way. Someone made it for him. It's a thumbnail he used to discuss Swerve Strickland taking on Kyle Fletcher. And if you look at the thumbnail, the optics of it, let's just be real. If you're looking at this as someone who doesn't watch wrestling, who doesn't know who Jim Cornette is, the optics of this. We got a black man, cotton, and a gorilla. I can see how some might just think that's a bit, I don't know about that, Chief. However, because I am a Jim Cornette fan, and I actually listen to what he has to say, you'll know by listening that this isn't what it looks like it is. First off, for this to be racist, you would have to make Swerve, that's the black guy, the gorilla, right? And that cotton is a Q-tip. That Q-tip represents someone else, a wrestler. And that gorilla is not supposed to mock Swerve. That gorilla is Jim Cornette because he talked about Mighty Joe Young. So in context, when you get what he has to say, and we'll play the clip, you start to realize this really isn't all that racist. But tell you what, I am going to find the video. I'm not going to play the whole clip. I just want to find the video and play just a little bit. And let's see what he has to say. Because again, if he has certain words about Swerve Strickland, that can be racist as well. But let's get the context of this. And I did find the video. Here it is. So we're going to play just a little bit of it. And I want to get the truth behind what's going on here. Here we go.
Swerve Strickland wins the world title on pay-per-view. And he is arguably the most popular guy in the company, right? Except now maybe for Ospreay, who's now, of course, in the top heel group. But still, he just won the world title. Wouldn't you think there would be some... I mean, the plumber won the IWGP title and got to talk about it. And Swerve wins the title on pay-per-view, and Nana introduces, here's your new world champion, and he comes out and has a match with Kyle Felcher. At least he's wrestling heels now, so they've acknowledged that he's supposed to be a babyface, but I wrote at the time, as soon as I saw what the match was, I said his first appearance as champion, and I guarantee you it's going to take him 20 minutes to beat a Q-tip with arms and legs. And I was wrong, Brian. It only took him 15. And at one point, because, I mean, this match, and they're going to go out there and have a banger. It was competitive all the way again. I don't care if Mighty Joe Young or Cheetah can do all the moves perfectly unless they are pushed on a consistent basis as being a threat to the singles world title, of which there should only be at least only 2. And they got about 4 or 5 here, but nevertheless. Then, no. What the fuck? And at one point during the match, it was so important, the new world champion's first, appearance on television, where he didn't say a goddamn word. He just got right into getting his ass kicked by one of the members of the Don Fallis family that just got his ass kicked by Will Ostrich. While Felcher's kicking the shit out of Swerve, they go split screen to the Buckaroos and Jungle Jackoff and O'Cody in the back walking into Tony Khan's office. This is Tony's name on the door, boom. After they've established on camera the past couple of weeks he sits at Gorilla, and it looked like 3 kids playing dress up and their Japanese adult chaperone. And they go to this huge story in the middle of the new world champions match. And finally, the new world champion hits his double stomp off the top rope finish onto the goddamn guy and covers him and gets a 2 count. And then backs up, and while Felcher sits up on his ass, Swerve runs and kicks him, and it was a wonderful looking kick. Might ought to use that for a high spot sometime every once in a while. But he runs and he kicks him in the head while the guy's sitting on his ass from behind. What a babyface fucking finish. And that got him the 3 count. So he went one move too far. And as I said, it only took him 15 minutes to beat a middle card. The guy's not even the top guy in his own fucking group. Your thoughts?
Let's call it like it is. I don't even need to play anymore. And there is more I want to get to, because he does talk about why he was trending. Not 1 second of that clip was racist. In fact, I would go as far as to say he is defending, supporting the current AEW Black World Champion, Swerve Strickland. If he was racist, don't you think he would have, I don't know, slandered, slammed, crapped on Swerve as a champ? What he's saying in this clip is that you have a mid-carder, and he is a mid-carder, Kyle Fletcher. He could be a main event player one day, but he's not right now. He's a mid-carder, Kyle Fletcher, who Swerve, let's be real, should have beat very, very quickly. But instead of establishing Swerve as a dominant world champion and creating tiers on your show, and therefore making things more interesting, he had a competitive 15-minute match, which did nothing for Swerve. Instead of, I don't know, having a championship celebration to appreciate and celebrate the fact that you made history, that he made history, I agree with them. That is not how I think they should have booked Swerve. And a lot of fans watching that show agreed. But I ask, how is this racist? Now that you have context, it makes that thumbnail make all of the people that said it was racist look ridiculous. You need context. And I saw people on social media say, I don't even need to listen to the video. I know it's racist, and I'm a white guy. See, a lot of the people who are offended by this, no offense, not saying it's all of them, but most of the people who are offended by this weren't even black folk. They were white folk. If you don't know what racism is, please don't get on your high horse and call something racist. Get the context. Always get the context. And you know what? We're not done yet. We are going to listen to another clip. So Jim Cornette did do a response, and I am going to pull that up here too. Right here. Jim Cornette on trending again on Twitter, where he addressed the situation, and we're going to see how he responds to all of the craziness. So once again, here is James E. Cornette.
But I'll tell you, I mentioned it got 3,000 likes on Twitter. That's because everybody loves me on Twitter, Brian. Because I've been trending again. I was trending, I'll have you know, yesterday evening while I believe I was outside with Harley Quinn giving her a vigorous belly rub and awaiting the start of Svengoolie. And I was trending on Twitter and didn't even know it. But that's because I'm Trendy McTrenderson, and people just love me and can't stop talking about me. And I know you know, but maybe some of the folks don't know. This time I trended on Twitter. Because when you and I had a discussion, Brian, here real recently, as in a couple days ago, about how stupid it was for Tony Khan to present Swerve Strickland, his brand new world champion, the fucking supposed top guy in the company, not only present that title as subordinate to the New Japan Pro Wrestling IWGP URSE title and John Moxley, and not give Swerve a promo, and not give Swerve any kind of... Willow had a celebration here lately, but Swerve didn't. And not only that, but he went out there and it took him 15 or 20 minutes to beat a human Q-tip and old Kyle Fletcher. I said, Kyle may be a wonderful young man and he can do all the moves, but you could teach Mighty Joe Young or Cheetah to do the wrestling moves. But that doesn't mean that they need to be doing them against your world champion. Why the fuck is Tony Khan not treating Swerve Strickland any better?
Again, if he was racist, he wouldn't be defending a black world champion. And I feel like a lot of times on social media, people are quick to hop on this social justice warrior bandwagon and go after the evil deeds because they want to feel important. They want to be a part of something important so they can feel better about themselves. And there's nothing wrong with that. But before you hop on the social justice warrior bandwagon, make sure that what you're fighting against is actually something to fight against. There are some 100% no BS racist things to talk about all over social media. And I will be the first one to point it out and completely trash it, bury it. I am 100% in the corner of anybody that stands against racism. This ain't racism. And Jim Cornette is someone that, and the reason why I support Jim Cornette, I like other wrestlers and other people in the business as well. When he does something messed up, he doesn't run from it. He doesn't hide from it. He's not going to be like, oh, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do that. No, Jim Cornette will come out and say, yeah, I did do that. Yes, it was screwed up. Yes, I do regret doing it. But you know what? I am a better person now, and I'm going to keep moving forward. Because everyone makes mistakes. Jim Cornette has a history of doing and saying some things that can be and were pretty racist. But he has come out and admitted it, apologized for it. So why are we going to continue to give him a hard time over it? I'm not going to punish Jim Cornette for things he's done in the past. Especially when he's apologized for it and he's a better person now. I mean, you would want that yourselves, right? And I'm not going to punish him for something he didn't do now. But a lot of people who hopped on this bandwagon hopped on it because it was an opportunity to take out a guy who was criticizing AEW or just criticizing wrestling, period, and making what they like look like shit, when in reality, he's just calling a spade a spade. Yes, he has his own views. Are there things that he talks about that I agree with? No. Because I have my own views in my own mind, and I'm an adult, and I can make up my own mind to like something even if he doesn't like it. That doesn't mean that he should be canceled because he says something I don't like. And a lot of people hate Jim Cornette because he says things you don't like. But what he says, a lot of times, makes sense and is correct. Especially when it comes to AEW. What do you want him to do? You want him to pretend he likes something? He doesn't like it, he don't like it, and he'll let you know about it. Let's continue.
And when our clip went out on YouTube, Travis Heckle did another brilliant piece of art. He should be hanging in the Louvre on a daily basis. That's what everybody says about Travis. Actually, I think they're talking about his art, but that's the way they say it. Nevertheless, he depicted old Kyle Felcher as a Q-tip and me as Mighty Joe Young and Swerve Strickland as, I know this is a stretch, Swerve Strickland. And people saw the artwork and, oh my God, Cornette's so racist. Cornette is a racist person. Cornette, he's got to be canceled. He's got to be run out of. One person said Jim Cornette should be escorted out of the wrestling community forever.
Let's go, buddy. You're out of here.
Let's go. I suggest that person that said that on Twitter, come on over. My garage door is always open to you. If you can hike 200 feet up the driveway and smile and say hello to the cameras that are hooked up to Stacy's phone and hop the fence before you do that and blah, blah, blah. But come on up and escort me out of the wrestling community.
Oh, my God.
The wrestling community. If there is a wrestling community, Turd Blossom, you ain't in it either.
For real.
So nevertheless, because I was the gorilla, I'm racist because I said, why does Tony Khan want to treat Swerve Strickland that way? I'm obviously a racist because Kyle Felcher looks like a Q-tip. I don't know what I think any race can stick a Q-tip in their ear or up their nose or wherever orifice they need a quick clean out. So maybe he's neutral, but so with these fucking they trend us on Twitter for making me look silly in our artwork. And again, yeah, Cornette should have known better. Yeah, because I'm sitting here drawing all these goddamn things in my spare time, dipshit. And by the way...
Right, and that's another thing, too. He didn't even draw the thumbnail. He didn't make it. He had someone else make it. And that statement of, well, Jim Cornette should have known better. Again, the optics of it. Again, looking at it as someone who doesn't watch wrestling, who doesn't know who Jim Cornette is, I can understand why you would think that way. A lot of the people who are mad at Jim Cornette, they know who Jim Cornette is. Especially the wrestlers in the business. So for me, I think this is just people trying to get rid of Jim Cornette because he says things that they don't like or goes after people in a way that doesn't make them feel good about the people they support. I am a grown-ass man. Jim Cornette can say whatever he wants to anybody. That ain't gonna affect my fandom. I still think AEW is a great wrestling show to watch. Do I agree with a lot of what Jim Cornette says about them as a business? 100%. I think AEW, more so nowadays, is becoming Tony Khan's sandbox, is what I called it. It's just this small show that Tony Khan believes is the greatest thing in the world, but it's only great to him, and everyone else is just like, okay, Tony. You know what I mean? But that's okay. I see it for what it is, and I admire what's good about it. And I, of course, will always support AEW being a viable secondary promotion to WWE. You need another company to compete with WWE. Otherwise, the wrestling ecosystem just dies out and the business just suffers because of it. The business suffered when WCW got canceled, when WCW went out of business, and ECW went out of business. When it was just WWE, yes, you had TNA, yes, you had other businesses, but nothing came close to what the WWE is until AEW came around. And AEW's presence really brought a lot of life to the business. So Jim Cornette can say whatever he wants. I am always going to be in the corner of competition makes the business better. And I think he believes that too. He has his own way of going about it. But yeah, I just thought it was crazy that people just gave him all this crap. They act like he's the one that designed it. Yes, could he have chosen a different thumbnail? Maybe. But it's not like it wouldn't have been any different. He kept it in terms of what was discussed. Mighty Joe Young and a Q-tip was used. But let's continue. Let me back it up a little bit because I knew he was going to say something and I cut him off. I apologize. So back to it.
These goddamn things in my spare time, dipshit. And by the way, again, bravo, Travis. You're a prince among men.
We haven't really talked about that much, but you see, Jim was such a fan of Jerry Lawler that he learned how to draw.
Yeah.
And he's been doing secretly, Travis Heckle's a made-up name. It's not a real thing. He is Travis Heckle.
I am Heckle. I am Heckle and you are Heckle and we are all heckling together. But do these people exist in the same world of reality that the rest of us do, that they just lose their fucking minds? Again, folks, I remind you, there are serious issues that you could use some of this energy. There are wars going on in the world. There are hungry children and abused animals. A goddamn criminal pig could be elected president again. And your mind...
Oh, Jim Cornette's rants on Donald Trump are some of the greatest. I'm not going to get into it because this is a wrestling channel. But if you are into politics like me and you listen to Jim Cornette go off on Donald Trump, some of the best content you will have. Let's continue.
Be elected president again. and your minds are blowing up on your Twitter machines where you're actually able to say things to people and about people without repercussions because they drew a picture of me as a gorilla in the same fucking frame as the black man that I was advocating for, as Paul Heyman says.
Thank you.
Presented in a better light. I got news for all of you. Take my penis in your mouth and suck it. But in a non-coercive way.
Pause. Whoa. Pause for real, but also pause, bruh. That's Jim Cornette for you. Oh, goodness gracious. That's not going to make it better. Now you know the people who already hate him even more now. I can hear it. Oh, he doesn't care that he made an offensive thumbnail. He didn't make the offensive thumbnail. It's not even like he created it. And when you get the context of it, it's not racist. He's not racist. Not in this context. Has he done things and said things in the past that you could consider racist? Yes. Okay, fine. He's apologized for that. But in this sense, he is defending, standing up, advocating for a black world champion. And in my eyes, he's not a racist. But, damn, Jim. Really? Let's continue.
Yeah, that makes it better.
Yeah.
There's no coercion at all. I'm just telling you, do this. I'm not going to make you physically. You can slink on off with your tail between your legs, but if you remain here, you need to take my penis in your mouth and suck it.
You could all stay away from my penis, for the record.
Well, they don't want to break normal tradition,
Jesus
Brian.
Christ.
People have been doing that for years. So,
anyway, it's crazy. Now
Before I get to Brian last, wait. This is why I love Jim Cornette. I think part of the reason why I'm a big fan of his is because he does not give a damn. Y'all, he doesn't need to do this. He doesn't need to come up here, talk about wrestling. The guy has made his money. He's in the Hall of Fame. He is going to get a check for the rest of his life. He's good. This he is doing for fun. So, of course, he has the leverage and a very privileged position that I also have to say, screw you. I'm going to do whatever I want. You don't like it, fuck off. I'm going to say it that way. I'm not going to say what Jim said in the video. No, just not me. All right, Brian last. Let's go.
Certainly people that are predisposed to not liking you because you make fun of their favorite wrestlers and succeed and haven't failed.
And to be fair, if I met these people that you mentioned and knew them personally, I would be making fun of them too. So there's that. They know that. So they can kind of assume that, well, Cornette would rip the shit out of me if he ever fucking saw the state of me. So I probably wouldn't like him anyway.
But let's just say this. And again, you don't draw the art. You simply talked about the content that led to the art. Travis bases every piece of art off things that Jim says. Usually there's something you have to listen deep into the clip to realize what exactly is referenced in the art.
It's part of the fun. But the key words where you have to listen to it.
Right. And in this artwork, Swerve Strickland's portrayed as, why am I with these two idiots? And as in all the arts, Travis is portraying Jim Cornette in a fun, silly manner. He mentioned Mighty Joe Young. He's Mighty Joe Young.
But these people don't like fun, Brian, unless it's silly, stupid wrestling done by children. Otherwise, fun is outlawed.
But let me just say this too. Race had nothing to do with the clip in question. Race had nothing to do with the artwork. At no point did any of us think it did. And if you looked at this and your first thought was that's racist because Jim Cornette, who last I checked was notoriously white, is portrayed as
infamously
Mighty Joe Young. If you saw that and said there's a race issue there because he's portrayed as an animal, a gorilla, maybe you have the problem with race, not everyone else. There's a lot of people want to point fingers at everyone for everything. This is this, this is that. This had nothing to do with any of that. Race never came into any of this. And then all of a sudden people want to yell about this artwork.
It doesn't matter because it makes them mad and I love it. Because here's the thing. You little fucking dipshits. Anybody that gets mad about that, again, you can fuck off or blow me. It's your choice, but you can't cancel me because I don't work for anyone.
There it is.
I don't care whether anybody listens to this fucking show or not, to be honest.
There it is. There it is. He said what I just said. It doesn't really matter what you do to him because he has his own business. He makes his own money. He has nobody that, if he was to say something offensive or do something that just makes him go away, there's no one that would be offended or affected by it. If anything else, what? The worst that could happen to him is he'll lose his YouTube channel and maybe WWE will remove him from the... I guess the WWE could remove him from the Hall of Fame. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I don't see how in any way, shape, or form, this is just me, my personal opinion, I don't see how anyone could really cancel him. How do you cancel someone who doesn't work for anybody? That's a dangerous man. He'll leave when he feels like leaving. How about that? Let's continue.
With you. To be quite perfectly honest with you, I love the people that love me, but I'd a whole lot rather right now be out in the backyard rubbing Harley Quinn's belly. So, we do our own thing, Brian. People have the choice of whether to listen. If they don't want to listen, they don't have to. But you can't fire me because I don't quit. As long as I don't quit, I can just do this whenever the fuck I want to, and we don't have to make anybody fucking happy. Except the people who are listening to us in record numbers, because we don't put up with bullshit like this, and we don't apologize for silly ass shit that other people make up, and we're not lobbying for a job, so we don't have to tell people that this goddamn fiasco of a fucking Chinese fire drill that you see on these wrestling programs actually makes any goddamn sense. We don't have to say that because we don't care whether they don't like us or not.
I'm lobbying for a job, for the record.
Well, and you're going to get one in the fucking lobby of the theater, tearing those tickets and showing people their seat.
I'd like to run Channel 9 or Channel 11 in New York and revitalize things.
You could add them up and make Channel 20.
That's not bad.
See there, already the marketing is, but that's
okay. And I think that's good enough. They're gonna be ripping, but yeah, like I'm not someone that would be considered the biggest Jim Cornette fan. I have listened to him long enough to know that he does say some things that I disagree with. Most of the time, though, I think he's absolutely hilarious. I think he's brilliant. I think he knows what he's talking about. And in this instance, I will gladly be a part of Team Cornette. The camp of Cornette. Because, no, he's not racist. There's nothing about this particular situation that makes him a racist. And I don't care who you think you are, what you think you are, who you support, what you support. You can only call someone a racist based off of the way they think, the way they act, what they say, how they carry themselves. Not in any shape or form throughout this entire video, throughout this entire topic, everything we looked at, from the optics of the first thumbnail to what Jim Cornette is following what he had to say, I don't see how anyone can call him racist. You're calling him racist because it's the trendy thing to do. It's what the SJWs decided he was. No, he's not a racist. He's not a racist. Not in this context, he's not. Now, could he do something in the future that could make him a racist? Hey, we got plenty of time. He ain't going nowhere. But I think Jim Cornette is the kind of guy that if he did something offensive, he would apologize for it. He would own it. He would not run away from it. He would straight up say, yeah, I did it. And it was fucked up. I'm going to do better. That's what makes him Jim Cornette. But you're not going to catch me ranting on him or giving him shit in this particular context. But that's what I have to say. What do you guys think? Give me your thoughts down below in the comments and the live chat, wherever, whenever you're watching this. And I guess we'll go ahead and end it here. Thank you all so much for making me a part of your day. As you file out, do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, and Venmo. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's World. A place that was and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you.
When you're